All right, welcome to Lizards of the Toasties. And today we are looking at a new deck we put together for Modern, and we're loving this one. Man, we put together so many new Modern decks, well, maybe like 4, for the new year here, to celebrate the new year, boo-hoo. So this is Dark Beast Parl, the Lightning Skelemental. And Dark Beast Parl is an optional boss in the Bloodborne series that we have here to show you. There's our optional boss there. As you see, it's a lightning-infused skeleton, and by that wrinkled, flesh-covered skull, you know that's an old beast. All right, let's get right into this. We hopefully are going to get some games this week. We have been very busy with the grim task of slogging through the muck, my friends. So, look at that. We have a manifest. What is that even for? All right, let's get through that creature base. Let's get through it if we can. All right, come on now. There's the namesake. Okay, so this is mostly elementals. We have the Flamekin Harbinger. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that nice? Look at that. Oh. When it enters, Flamekin Harbinger comes into play. You may search your library for an elemental card, reveal it, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. Nothing wrong with that. We're running 2 of these. We have one of those and one of these. See that? This is the reprint one, and this is the original version. Very nice, if I say so myself. We have the Spark Elemental there. It's got trample, it's got haste. At the end of turn, sacrifice it. It's 1 red, trample, haste, 3/1. 1, a T, a 3, a 4. And what is this? Oh my goodness, what is this? It's our old friend, Mr. V. Vexing Devil, yeah? Oh, look at that one. This one's been with us for the longs. Oh, yes. Look at the Vexing Devils. We love the Vexing Devils. So, we're running 4. It's 1 red. It's a 4/3. When it enters the battlefield, any opponent may have it deal 4 damage to them. If a player does, sacrifice Vexing Devil. Boop, 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 boop. All right. And here's the Elder Giant. Oh my gosh. Look at the Dark Souls-ness of that. That must be Dark Souls inspired. Like my very own naming of this deck is inspired by a Soulsborne game. Does it seem like we're obsessed with the Soulsborne series here? Are we Miyazaki fanboys here? Yep, that's right. We sure are. And you know what? I've never even read Guts. I don't know. Some people say the 2 are connected, but I just love the Souls. Love those Souls games. We have Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hungry. Oh my goodness, is Death hungry. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Isn't Death hungry with all the wars and the famines and the whatnots? When Kroxa enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escapes. So it's a black, it's a red. So we're sacrificing it. What else do we get? Whenever Kroxa enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card. Then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. It's a little bit of a discard thing there. That's good. This escape cost giving us that 6/6 though. Oh, very nice. Exile 5 other cards from the graveyard. We have plenty of cards in the graveyard to put to work. That is good. That is good. We'll go boom, boom. We're running a 2 of those. So 2 of those big boys, always in there, ready to be popped out there and making work of our being able to escape things from our graveyard. Now, here is one of the beautiful things in this deck. And when I last played this, I played this in a mono red with a runaway Steamkin. If any of the fans of the channel in the way back, if you go way back in there, there is a best mono red deck in Modern. I believe it has some of these in it. So we are running this because it has haste. It's 1/2, and whenever Thunderkin Awakener attacks, choose target elemental creature card in the graveyard with toughness less than Thunderkin Awakener's toughness. Return that card to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, wow. Oh my goodness. 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So, why do we have 4 of these? Because that's good, right? These are like so good because our 3 mana elementals in the graveyard can be played out so easily. So turn 2, if we faithless looted a couple of these, we can attack with that, bring that out, tapped and attacking, bada bing, bada bang. You do the math. Come on, you know how it works. We have Ball Lightning. Isn't that scary? That, in a way, this even reminds me more of like the Dark Beast Parl. It has trample, it has haste. Beginning of the end step, sacrifice it, who cares? It's 3 red. You know, I don't know. That's a lot of red. 1, a 2. Now here is Dark Beast Parl itself. Maybe herself. Parl sounds like a lady beast name, kind of. Anyways, we have a red, 2 reds and a black, and we get a trample and we get a haste. We have whenever a lightning skelemental deals combat damage to a player, that player discards 2 cards, so that's something extra above ball lightning. At the beginning of the end step, sacrifice lightning skelemental. So, it's going to be sacrificed. That's fine, because guess what? We're going to be popping it in and out with Thunderkin Awakener and other hijinks. So we're running 4 of the Dark Beast Parls. And 2 of the baby Parls here. So we got Little Parl, and we got Dark Beast Parl. Our Parls are in a parlay, as it were. So we have Faithless Looting. We have no faith in this looting. Avacyn's Abandoned Us. We have nothing left except what we can take. Raiding the hall there, it looks like. A lot of raiding going on there by the rabble, it looks like. So with 1 red, we draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. You know we're running 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course we are. Because that is good. Hey, look at that. Is that nice? Oh yeah, look at that. Little OG version there. Ugh. Does anybody not like having that be an OG version of something? That's all the way back from 2013, friends. Now this one right here, this 1 red sorcery, oh my goodness. With the Thunderkin Awakener, this is so good. Because, I will show you. Let's say we have a Skelemental in the yard. It's turn 2. Turn 3, I'm sorry. Not turn 2, it's turn 3. So we have 1 of those in the yard. We've just played out our Thunderkin. We have 3 mana. Boom, boom. And we thud that. So we get it out. Let's do it. We go 1. There's 7. And then we thud this before we sacrifice it. That's 13 damage we can get turn 3. And if somebody has fetched and done those normal things that you do in a classic game of Modern where you're fetching stuff and whatnot, and things, you know, you don't want that coming in tapped. This thing does 1 damage to you. In the world of Modern, that is pretty much devastating, especially when we have a 1, a 2, a 3. We had 4. There we go. Yes, of course. We had 4 of these beautiful M19 cards. These are great. I love this card. And while we're on 1 mana cards that I love, let's talk about Unearth a little bit. Return target creature card from your graveyard with converted mana cost 3 or less to the battlefield. It's got a cycling cost of 2. So, honestly, I love this card so much, sometimes I forget about that cycling cost. I almost feel like I should highlight this on these cards. These cards are so cheap, you could highlight it. Alright, I wouldn't do that, or would I? So, we have 4 Unearths, because these Unearths, they're going to pull out everything we have here. There's nothing, with the exception, you know, even Kroxa. Yeah, we can pull anything that we have out of the yard there that we're going to need. So this is great. Having 4 of these is almost like having 4 creatures that bring something out of the graveyard. When this creature enters, it's almost that good. It's so good in this deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, of course. Now, let's go into this. What is this? What is that? That's different. That's weird. What is it? We have Claim here. Now this is one, I would say, this is more going to be pointingly targeting things like Thunderkin Awakener. This is not going after our 3 manas, obviously, because it can't, but there's a lot of targets all the same, including the Vexing Devil. So we can play that on our Vexing Devil. But wait, there's more. We have this Aftermath cost. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. So, let us say for a second, it's turn 3. We bring Vexing Devil back. They don't pay the cost. We hit Vexing with that. We got a 6. So the synergy of this deck, you know, somebody, when I had the list up, I was showing it and sharing it with some colleagues. And they said, oh, geez, this is grandpa stuff. I said, no, I'm not a grandpa. I'm not even a father. How can I be a grandfather? Am I right? So, yeah, I said it's not. This synergy works. Vexing Devil belongs in here. I love the devil. They said, nah, the devil, get rid of it or just keep a couple. No, no, no. The Vexing Devil wins games because turn 1, Vexing Devil, okay, do your damage. But if you bring this thing back, 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage. That's 12 damage. That's math, my friends. So we are running 1, 2, 3 of these. Just 3. Return that target creature's big, but that aftermath in a way is even bigger. Because I've put this in here. This took the place of that skeleton, actually. The Emperor of Bones, who is an emperor, but nobody knows who the heck he is, apparently. So he's an emperor, but he's not legendary. He's the Emperor of Bones. I know why they made him just a random emperor, because if the Emperor of Bones was legendary, he would be an awesome commander, am I right? We have a lightning bolt here. Deals 3 damage to target creature or player. We're running 1, 2 of those in the main. We have fling here, 1, 2, 3, and I think you'd even go down to 2 flings maybe. And there's another card, the Ritual of Consumption, I think it is. I got it right here, but I won't. I digress. We don't have it in the deck. We don't need to discuss it. So you could run that in here and definitely sideboard one of these. You could have one of these be that one because it basically is this, but it gives you lifelink on the creature that you destroy. So that damage dealt, you gain that much life. I think that's what it does, but we messed with it a little bit, and as you see, I can't even remember what it does, so we may put it somewhere else. We have some of them. But these flings are an instant. That's nice. They're 1 and a red. So if need be, like let's say our opponent, we have a Vexing Devil. Our opponent is trying to do some little hijinks, like, oh, maybe we're low in life. So if we have a Vexing Devil or something on the board to get a few damage, we can do this on their turn if we have the mana. Now, 3 of those. All right, good. Now let's get right into the mana base here. This mana base is so much fun because it's almost identical to my Hollow One mana base that I'm waiting for the Mako. That's why I haven't shown the Hollow One, but I've been playing it a lot. Let's see, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. So we have 6 fetchies, and we have Mountain, 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 3 of those, and 1 of these in case we get Blood Mooned. Because the rule we're using here on this is, looking here, we will always need just 1 black. No matter what happens, if a Blood Moon comes out, 1 black mana is all we need. And we're not really discarding things willy-nilly. So it's not like my Hollow One where I want to have 2 black, not necessarily to pay for something's mana cost, but because if I discard 1 and I'm Blood Mooned, I really want to have a basic land. So we have 6 fetches, and our fetchables are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 Raucous Theater, 5, 6, 7 fetchables. And Blazemire Verge is really good in this deck. Add black, that's great, and add red, activate only if you control a swamp. I gotta say, I just love these Verges. In Modern, I don't know. I know they have a future in this format, but I don't know what that future necessarily is, but I think that future could include them as a one-of in most decks. My opinion. Now, Black Cleave Cliffs enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. This simply exists in our deck to be a dual land. So we are running 4 of these nice Black Cleave Cliffs. This is one of my favorite sets. I love it, the frame. I love the way it looked. It almost had like a hand-stamped look to it. You remember that? Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I love that set. Anyways, these Black Cleave Cliffs always have 1 or 2 in the opening hand, so when you pull one later on, it doesn't really matter. I'm never in a place with this deck where I'm like, oh no, it's a Black Cleave Cliff. Because by the time you have 3 mana available to you, you're not in a place where you really have to. That's kind of why Runaway Steamkin did not find its way into this deck. I feel like it was a little bit slow for the deck. And I feel like it just kind of created like a little mini stepping stone between 2 big rocks, as it were. Because, yes, mana would be good. It'd be good to have something to convert to mana in this deck. But if I was going to want something where I could get a little extra mana on the end of something, I would honestly probably go 2 Ragavan in here, or maybe some Gosh, what is it? Again, just talking about the card, this is bad. This is what happens when coffee is scarce, my friends. The coffee maker has skedoodled on us. So, it's the one with the dwarf, and she's taking a ring off the guy and says, "Nice ring, maybe I'll take it." What is it? You get to draw 2 cards, you sacrifice a creature, create a treasure token. You know the card. Anyways, a couple of those could maybe work in here. So, yeah, that mana base, like I said, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Don't want to push it. You don't want 17, you don't want 19, you don't want 20. 18 does the deed. Now let's talk about the sideboard. It moves. It moves a little bit. We're still messing with it. It's a new year, my friends, and Modern is very exciting right now. So, Tunnel Ignis is an elemental. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under his or her control, Tunnel Ignis deals 3 damage to that player. 1, 2, 3. Yes, 3. Why 3? I tell you why 3. 3, because land greedy 3 colored decks are everywhere right now, and that is guaranteed to do at least 6 damage. So that comes into play. That is also going to be a sap for removal to clear the way for our other more important elementals later. We have Fulminator Mage. We have 1, 2, and just 2 of these. But you know what? I'm thinking of adding some. I'm thinking Fulminator Mage. I think we may go a full play set in here. So, food for thought. So if you see the list change and there's more Fulminators, that's what's happened. So sacrifice Fulminator Mage, destroy target non-basic land. Speaks for itself. We can recur it with our Unearth and devastate the board. So yeah. Actually, I wonder if they're not in here. But, and that's a big but, if they were in here, I would probably dump the Blood Moons and the Magus of the Moon. Just because, I think I will. Let's just pretend like we have 4 Fulminator Mages in here. That's how strongly the Lizard feels about this. So, we're going to have that full set of those Fulminator Mages. I think will be the way we go. Withering Torment is 2 and a black. Destroy target creature or enchantment. We lose 2 life. This is wonderful. This is mostly there for those pesky ley lines. 1, 2. Now we have Fatal Push. Destroy target creature if it has converted mana cost 2 or less. Got that Revolt. Destroy that creature if it has converted mana cost 4 or less instead of a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn. Permanents are leaving the battlefield left and right. But we like to get that damage through. This deck is more focusing on getting damage. So Lightning Bolt is a little better in that position. Rakdos Charm is exile cards from target player's graveyard or destroy target artifact, or each creature deals 1 damage to its controller. We are not a creature-heavy board state. Our board state's not going to have creatures on it like crazy. This is simply for Boros Energy. 1 FT. Now here is where things get a little exciting. I've recently rediscovered this card, Rough and Tumble. We're running 2 of them in here. Deals 2 damage to each creature without flying for 1 and a red. That's pretty dang good. And our creatures don't have flying. That's not good. But that's okay, because like I said, we're not creating much of a board state creature-wise anyways, so that's really good for making our opponent's board state disappear. Tumble deals 6 damage to each creature with flying. It's 5 and a red. Wow. But guess what? It's there. It's an option. Pretty much, it's just rough. We got this little card here in our deck. We're like, oh, have you seen these little cards? Look at this. Is going to be like the best thumbnail ever. Have you seen these little cards? Look how little these magic cards are. I'm just kidding. Tumble deals 6 damage to each creature with flying. That's Murktide, friends. So that is the sideboard. And like I said, I'm telling you, we know so. There are going to be some changes, and those changes are simply going to be a couple more Fulminators. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This deck is available on Moxfield to view for your viewing pleasure. I haven't gotten along and gotten all the right versions for it. However, the card list is there if you guys want to make it or improve upon it. And as always, I love suggestions. I like to see things improve. And I'll never be like, I tried that. I'll be like, yeah, I thought that too. It's a good idea. Because great minds think alike. And most of the people that watch my videos are great minds, my friends. Most of them. Mostly.